You asked for a second video today, and you are gonna get it. Look at Bitcoin. It is absolutely charging up after doing that top of the ATR band into the 21-day EMA dip to rip here. We've been talking about that on the channel for a while. Is the dip gonna rip? The dip indeed did rip. We went up over $76,000 today. We are currently teetering right under $76,000 as of the recording of this video. 77,812 is kind of my mark right here that I'm looking to reach here in the next couple of days. It's been on the chart for quite a while. If you've been watching us, you've seen it there. After that, 80,000 is probably going to be a little bit of a struggle, but I think we will break it eventually. 85 is the next mark on that afterwards, and even higher. The holy grail for the year, we're looking at trying to reach $100,000 on Bitcoin. That is what we're hoping is going to happen. You can see that we've been falling, kind of like in this choppy downward move ever since March. And since we bottomed out down here on September 5th, we have just been absolutely charging up, and we will not stop. Now, some of the momentum is going against us, so we might see a tiny bit of a pullback because this is an insane move. We're up 9.46% in one day. It's not unheard of, but it is uncommon, and it tends to give a little bit of that back. I wouldn't be surprised to back test 72,000, maybe even 71, where the 5-day moving average currently is on Bitcoin. So don't be surprised if you see that. But on the way up, 77, we're in uncharted territory. Okay, I'm going to say that right now. We are in uncharted territory. We are in price discovery as of today. We have no idea how high this thing could potentially go, but what we're looking at is we're going to use the fibs. Basically, we use fibs to check that out, right? So we would come in down here, and we would go to the bottom of the move, which in this case, the very bottom was on August 5th, okay? Very bottom. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Let's run a fib on this thing right here, right now. August 5th as the bottom to, let's see, let's go to the top right now where we currently are. Fib, boom, the fibs. All right, these were a little different when the high was at 73, and I bet you if I drag the high back to there, we'd see, yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so anyways, what are we looking for here? So that was that previously. Now we need to see the close above here. Right now, we need to see a daily close above the previous high at $74,000. We need to see a weekly close above the previous high at $74,000. Then the holy grail that we know that this thing is going to pop off and never look back. Okay, I shouldn't say never, not until the winter anyways, is going to be that monthly close above $74,000. We get that monthly close at the end of November. I know it's a little ways away now, but that's what we're looking for. We get that monthly close up there. And we know that December is going to be good. January is probably going to be good. February is probably going to be good. We're probably not going to look back below the previous all-time high for a little while here, for at least a few months, until we get to some bearishness through the summer. But anyways, if we run some fibs, we can see some levels here, about 83, about 88, all the way up here. We get about 113 on the fibs. So it doesn't exactly line up with my lines I've got here. What was I doing? It's like a cup and handle thing that I was measuring or something. I don't know. But we're breaking out of that handle right now. I'd have to remember what I was doing with those. My lines are 77, 8, 85. I have to remember why. That they're not the fibs. There's something else. Maybe they're fibs from another time period, and they've just been up there a really long time. I can't remember. But we are charging up towards it. We hit $76,000 right now. I'll figure that out for you by the time I do another video on this. And we are just going to go up and up and up and up as long as we don't go below like $70,000 again in the next couple of days. I think we continue to charge on up. Now, the momentum's not necessarily on our side right now in terms of it is pointing down and but it could turn around. Like we can see on the daily here, this is turning around as of today. On the average force, it is popping up. The fast one is coming back up towards the slow, which is getting smaller. So we could see this thing just go up big time. Solana up 12.8% today. It is coming right up on a very important resistance point, which is 188.30. It came up, tapped it, and it is trying to decide if it wants to go over it or not. As you can see, it's basically acting as a ceiling that price needs to break through. And when price breaks through that, I think Solana may very well quickly find its way back up to 211. Right, and then after that, the all-time high at 260, and we may be knocking on the door of 300 by the end of the year here. Ethereum finally waking up as well, which is helping out our boy Bit Digital. We're coming out of this consolidation pattern here. If we stay out of this and we get above that, that looks like a double bottom. We get out of that double bottom, we could be coming all the way back up to about 3,200 here on Ethereum in short order. Doge, let's talk about the Doge real quick. Doge went up to 22 cents. It is rejecting. It is making a bit of a blow off top there. I have not sold my Doge. I'm going to continue to hold my Doge throughout the month of Moonvember, because guess what? Moonvember is here now. So that's what is happening. We're looking at it. It went up to 22 cents. It did reject there. So we are looking for this average force to pick up a little bit. We're looking for this fast ribbon here to go up a little higher. I want to see the slow one turn green. That one turns green. I'm going to be very, very, very excited about Doge potentially coming up to my 27-cent mark, which is where I'm going to sell all of my Doge right now, unless I see some more strength and I feel like it's really going to tag 33 cents or 34 cents, something like that. Then I'll adjust it up, but I think 27 is where I'm holding right now, and if it hits that, I will dump my bag of Doge for a 100% gain, and I'll be feeling very good about that. Okay, that's all for crypto right now. 27 is my next target, right? That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at 27, between 27, like honestly, between 25 and 29 right there. I'm looking for it to hit 27. 35 is the mark for this high right here. That's why I have that on there. That's why I was thinking maybe I'd sell 27 to 33 cents, somewhere in there, because I think that since that is such a big level at 35 cents, there will be significant selling pressure trying to get up there. I'm not saying it won't get there. I'm just saying I'll be jumping ship before it does, being happy with my 100% gain in less than a month. That's all I'm saying on Doge there. But yeah, I definitely see if Doge defeats 33 cents, I'd be looking at it again to go up to 60 or even 70 cents, maybe even test that all-time high if it breaks that 35-cent range. But for now, I think it's going to have a tough time getting up over 30 cents right now. I think it's going to face a lot of selling pressure, because remember, there's a lot of people that were buying back up here when Elon was pumping it last time. There were a lot of people buying up here. There was a lot of people buying up here at that 70-cent range that might still be holding, that might be looking to, okay, 30 cents feels better than 7 cents, better dump it. So don't be surprised if you see it come up to like 30 cents and then it takes a pretty significant dump as people are tired of being underwater. 30 cents feels good enough, and they start to take some losses or even some gains on it, or breaking even, because that's where that last, on the way down, that's where that would have been like, oh yeah, it's going to come back, and then like it just didn't. It faked people out twice at that 35-cent level. I wouldn't be surprised if it got close to there and just dropped pretty hard for a few days or weeks. So watch that on Doge. I mean, we're even dumping hard at 22 cents. Look, people bought at 22 cents. It hit 22. It didn't quite get to that top. And everyone that was underwater from buying it at 22.6 or whatever it went up to right here, everyone underwater from that, from March, sold today, basically. They're all selling today. That's why we got that blow off top. And then anyone that bought down here at 9 cents also sold today because they got a double up. So you got those underwater and those doubling up, selling, putting double the pressure on that blow off top there. So we may, if it holds above this 18-cent mark right here today, I'm going to be very excited about it potentially charging up again in the next couple of days. So don't be so scared about Doge there. All right, let's go to the Bitcoin miners. CleanSpark closed the day up 23%. RIOT took the day with 26%. Can you believe it? RIOT, 26%, almost 10% more than Bitfarms. That's kind of what I was expecting, but I am excited that Bitfarms is up 17%. I'm very excited for the shareholders there. That is good. But like I said, I did think RIOT was going to do better because of the institutions shifting their sites from Bitfarms to RIOT. Since RIOT has 20% exposure to Bitfarms, you're getting a 2 for 1. It just makes more sense from an institutional standpoint to own RIOT for that specific purpose. Now you can see in the after hours we are barely up a little tiny bit more, but we went up 23% today on CleanSpark. This, my friends, might be a gap up and go sort of scenario. Look at here, gap up, go, gap down, go. But but that was in the past. That was when things were looking bad. Now they're looking great. Gap up and go is what we're looking at here. Our next target is $15 on CleanSpark. But I don't think that the party ends there. I don't think the party stops at $15. I do see this getting back up to 18, potentially even back up to $21 or $22 to the top of this range here once we get cooking. That's what I'm looking at for CleanSpark. You can see that the stochastic ribbons here that I've got, this fast is yellow, the slow is slowly closing, and it will turn green pretty soon. Average force you can see here is going back upward. I'm feeling quite good about this position right now. Despite all that dilution, I'm feeling pretty good about my CleanSpark right now. Bit Digital was also up about 17% in line with Bitfarms there. I'm kind of surprised. I thought it would be more considering they are the ETH play, and ETH is absolutely pumping today. along with all of the others. You can see that we came to the bottom of the range on the ribbon here, the fast one, and it is turning yellow again. And the slow one is kind of getting smaller, so that's pretty good for Bit Digital. We could see this as long as average force cooperates and stops going down and being at odds, diverging, if you will, on the ribbons, then I think we could see Bit Digital really take off from here as well, especially if Ethereum starts going back up to $31, $32, $3,300. I think Bit Digital will be looking at $5, $6, maybe even $7 here by the end of the year, as long as Ethereum cooperates. Now, they're going to be more sensitive to Ethereum than Bitcoin at Bit Digital because they're not mining as much Bitcoin as they were. They are shifting their focus to Ethereum, to HPC. They have sold off a big bag of their Bitcoin, so they're not holding nearly as much as they were before, but they do have a pretty significant, in fact, they have the largest public bag of Ethereum, and they are going to benefit from any altcoin rallies that we get here right now for Bit Digital, but I like where it is right now. I'm not too concerned about it. I'm feeling good. Hopefully this again is a gap up and go. We went above the 21-day moving average. I think we could potentially come to 455 here in the next couple of days, maybe by the end of the week, assuming that we don't get a sell off tomorrow and the next day, because today could have been absolutely a knee-jerk reaction sending us higher, which then will be met by that euphoric buying, and then you know that maybe it's time to take profit because we went up 20% in a day. So we might see some profit taking going into Thursday and Friday. Also remember, tomorrow is FOMC. We'll be making a video about FOMC. Ah, man, I wanted to do an income machine tomorrow. No, it's got to be FOMC tomorrow. We got to talk about the FOMC and what they're going to do. And if you are in bonds, you know it sucks. Anyways, we'll talk about all that tomorrow. FOMC, bonds. I might do 2 videos tomorrow because I want to do my income machine so I can talk about some crypto going into the weekend. Bitfarms up 17.68%. My bearishness is gone on Bitfarms right now. And like I said, I do see it going back up to where previous highs, like $3-4. I do see it underperforming Riot going forward simply because Riot has that dual exposure, which is more appealing to institutional investors. And if you really want to get big, massive pumps, you need institutional investors. You just do. So I'm still looking at Bitfarms. I like Bitfarms where it is right now. $2.13 is good. This turns out this was likely the bottom here. It turned around. I did like that it turned around. I didn't like that it broke the trend line, but it never actually truly broke it because it did not close a candle below it that was not complete, that was completely detached from the trend line. And it hit this area, bounced right back up. So as long as it holds, honestly, above the 200-day moving average, which is currently at $2, as long as this thing holds above $2, I am looking at Bitfarms to come out of this downturn from here, come right back up to the top of this level here, about 327, and potentially even go up to the top of the ATR bands here, about 365, maybe even touch $4 if we get lucky by the end of the year for Bitfarms. But we'll talk about that as it develops, especially on the weekly closes, which I hope you're all excited for on Saturday, because it is going to be a good one this week, given how awesome today was. Mara was up 18% today. Look at that. That thing came down, hit the 200, went slightly below it and just said nope, and went right back up. You can see average force is getting smaller to the downside, so that is good. We see the momentum ribbons here, one turning yellow, the slow one is getting smaller. That is also very, very, very good right now. Where we closed today was actually fantastic. We came big old green candle, erasing a whole lot of bearishness. We almost got up to that most traded level for Mara since the beginning of the year here. And I do think Mara will quickly, in the next couple of days, as soon as we get over that 1980 level, we're very quickly going to find ourselves into the mid-20s on Mara. Riot is the standout today, 26%. I can't say I would buy any Riot because honestly, I'm pretty still upset about what they did to Bitfarms. I'm still feeling that anger at them, and I don't like how they manage some stuff, but this turned out to be a little bit of a cup and handle here. That's nice. We got average forces growing. We've got the momentum bands all pointing the right direction. Riot could, in this situation, I would like to see it pull back within the ATR bands, because being outside of the ATR band is outrageous and it shouldn't be there. So I'd like to see it come back down to the 5-day moving average at 1047, or for the 5-day moving average to catch up to it around like $11 or something. So that's what I'm looking at Riot right now. But honestly, for the year-end result in the next couple of weeks, assuming we don't get a pullback the next 2 days, which remember, I am expecting that. I'm expecting today was a knee-jerk up. I'm expecting to see a correction in the next 2 days. If I don't see a correction in the next 2 days, I'm going to be like quite excited about some upward moves potentially coming in the following week, but I would be surprised to not see profit taking in the next 2 days. So get that clear. The next 2 days I am expecting profit taking. So watch it. Watch for it. It might be that dip into the rip that we could potentially, like any dips going forward, basically are going to be followed by rips. That's for the end of the year, throughout the end of the year. And of course, none of this is financial advice or a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. But going through the end of 2024, any dips, I am looking at them to be followed by rips. So I will be going in on dips, looking for rips throughout the end of the year, possibly into like January and February. Okay. RIOT, I'm looking at RIOT potentially coming up to like 15, 16 bucks by the end of the year. Based on previous performance, based on channels, based on technicals. That's what I'm looking at, about 15, 16 bucks. IREN was up 23%, almost up there with RIOT here. It is coming out of the top of this ascending wedge, which I really like. I like that. I like that a lot. That's pretty awesome. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and delete this now because that is unnecessary to have anymore. We were in a bit of a falling, a bit of a rising wedge, just a wedge, just a wedge. The fact that it didn't get up and above 1140 is a little concerning. I'd like to see it get up and above 1140. IREN, I am watching IREN to come right back to this top here, this $15, $16. I am looking to offload my IREN around $18, $19, maybe just below that $20 even, maybe even like the mid 19s. I'd be looking at getting rid of my IREN and watching it come back down around February, March, maybe even a little later than that, like April. We'll see. But average force going the right direction. The momentum ribbons pointing the right direction. This is all looking really good for IREN. I'd like to see IREN go higher. I like right where we are. We could consolidate here a little bit and then break out upward. Hopefully we don't come back down to the bottom. Honestly, the lowest I see IREN on the downside is 880 if it decides to come back down, but otherwise I'm looking for a potential flag the next couple of days and then like another blast up, finding ourselves around 13 bucks, maybe like 12, 13 bucks here in the next couple of days, assuming that we don't get that big sell-off after this knee-jerk reaction. CORZ was actually one of the lower performing stocks today. A little bit of a lower performer. Now it was up 10%, but when its peers are up 17 and 26%, that's a little low. So what happened here? So we came up to the top of this ascending wedge. It rode that for a little while, then it came down to the below it, and it confirmed below it. It confirmed below it. But then yesterday, things started looking bullish. And then today we went right back to the top of that. This thing is all over this place. This thing is a bucking beast that is just all over the place. But of course, he's awesome. Look, this $14. I see no weakness. Every time I see weakness in this stock, it just turns right around. So yeah, CORZ, it's hard to read this one, but there is still room to the upside in the short term, even up to 15 bucks. It's not even to the top of the ATR band right now. So like it could keep going. Could keep going tomorrow. We'll see. WULF is up 23.5% today. It's a little down a little bit in after hours, as you can see here. This one too, it did that ascending wedge, broke beneath it, it had that 2 candles confirming beneath it, which to me would have said, hey, we're going to go lower. But then the election came out, man, and the results were positive for crypto-related assets. And I tell you what, that was the catalyst, 23% up, right back up to that wedge. We might go back to right in the top of this wedge. We could find ourselves at 859 bucks here in a short order for WULF. WULF is also unstoppable. CIFR was up 30% today. Never mind, that was the big one. I didn't even see that. 30% CIFR. Wow. It went up to my targets here to the very top of this range, and it even went above it. It went above my ascending channel here. That is super bullish. I might see, and it closed near the top of that candle too. That's really good. We might see a blow-off candle, something like this from July 17th come through, which might even take us as high as $8 or $9 here on CIFR. CIFR is getting nuts. Look at that. A little while ago, I was doubting CIFR. Now it's just like a top performer. This inverted head and shoulders is played out though, so it does need to make a new bullish formation right now to go higher. All right, we're gonna need more liquidity to go higher on CIFR. It's gone as high as it can go off of here. I'll draw it for you. Off of this inverted head and shoulders here, right there. Oh, that was so disgusting. Right here, off that inverted head and shoulders right there, that is as high as it can go off of that pattern. It needs another bullish formation to go higher. So we need to get some liquidity, meaning a pullback, probably to like 632 or so to get this thing going higher. Now, of course, it could go higher just on its own. It's just if it wants to go higher comfortably and like in a healthy way, it would do a little pullback and then go higher. So that's what we're looking at there for CIFR, but that's cool. If you were in the warrants though, it's up 52%. Man, I wish that still was in those warrants. I bought and sold thousands of those things, man. I'd be so high on those right now. That'd be awesome. Oh well, too late. HIVE, how's HIVE doing? HIVE is not doing super duper hot. Still struggling to really get away from this trend line right here. I don't like that. I really don't like that actually, how it's still struggling, and it's actually got, I mean, it's up you know, 11%, but the candle is red, so that's not like a positive thing for HIVE overall. Yeah, it didn't come to the top of the ATR band, and it's showing a red candle. It is positive, but a red candle all the same, meaning it opened up at its highest point and just kind of fell from there. That's not really good for HIVE overall. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like what I'm seeing for HIVE right there. I don't think it's done with this trend line here quite yet for HIVE. So Luna, the Lotto play is still kind of in that consolidation zone. It was up 14% today, so a lot of plays didn't do so hot. Those will come up when meme coins are really popping off. Not just Dogecoin, because Dogecoin is the original meme. It pops off when it wants, but the other memes kind of go as a herd, and I think that's when we'll see things like Soluna pop off. Is when like the meme coins, like the majority of them, are really seeing big pop and moves here right now. But we do have an inverted head and shoulders right here. I'll point it out right there. Shoulder, head, shoulder. And that inverted head and shoulders could take us as high as $7, maybe even $8. Okay, could take us to $7, maybe even $8. Up here to the top of this, the top of the fib bands here. That would be pretty cool. I'd be pretty happy about that. Actually, I'd make quite a lot of money if it did that, actually. So that's what I'm looking for right now. I'm looking for that inverted head and shoulders, just like many of its peers. And I want to see it come up to the top of that move there at like $7, $8 sometime in the next like 90 days or so. MicroStrategy was up 13% today. I got some exciting things to talk about for MicroStrategy in the upcoming Income Machine video. I found a way to get myself back into MicroStrategy exposure, and I am already making a pile of cash doing that. So I'm pretty excited to talk to you about that, but I won't be able to talk to you about it tomorrow because FOMC, they just had to schedule that tomorrow instead of today. I guess it was just too much news at once to have them today after the election yesterday. So I can't wait to talk to you guys, to all of you about that. That's going to be very, very exciting as well. What else happened today? I think, oh yeah, Tesla was pretty good. Where's Tesla? Tesla was up 14% today. Wow. I think Palantir was also kind of outrageous. Where's PLTR on here? PLTR. Palantir. Yeah, Palantir was also up 8% today, which is out completely outrageous. This thing needs to come back down to $47. This thing is just even outside of the fib bands. Palantir is an unstoppable beast. I would not buy it here though. Of course, nothing I say is financial advice or a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. But Palantir is out of control. It will not stop running. It is so far outside of the fib bands. It is so far outside of the ATR bands. I bet you if I turn on the Bollinger Bands, it's even outside of those things. Bollinger Band up. We only need the upward one. It is solidly outside of the top Bollinger Band, and I have this on a multiplier of 3, meaning less than 5% of all candles will reach this level. That is not a level I would want to buy at, to be honest. Personally, I think that's a little too risky. I'd like to see it come back down to the middle here somewhere, or at least a Bollinger Band to pull away from it before I'd be interested in Palantir right now. But I am very, very, very happy to be a holder of Palantir shares that I have been a holder for quite a while, and I'm up way over 100% on Palantir right now. I'm making almost as much as much money with Palantir as I have with the Bitcoin miner. So I'm pretty excited about Palantir, as you can imagine. So anyways, that's all I've got for you this afternoon. Have a fantastic day. We did super duper well today. Everybody give yourselves a pat on the back there for just an awesome performance today. You held on, you held strong. We are crushing it. And with that said, please have a profitable day.